So this time we are now learning writing general equation to a standard equation of a circle. So let's start with the first example here. We have x squared plus y squared minus 12x minus 6y minus 4. This is in general form of our equation of the circle. So all we have to do is to group first those that are with the same variable. So we start with x squared minus 12x. They have the same variable here, so we are grouping them together. And then we have plus. The one that contains the y as a variable, we're also grouping that one. So we have plus quantity y squared. And then we have minus 6y. Then our minus 4 here will be moving that one to the other side. So this is now adding 4 on the two sides here. So this is 0 plus 4, that's equal to 4. Or simply when you move minus 4 to the other side, that becomes plus 4. So 0 plus 4 is 4. Next, we are going to complete our square. So in completing our square, we will have x squared minus 12x plus a number here. And then also with the same thing here on our y. So we have 6 squared minus 6y plus a number here to complete the square. We are completing the square, so perfect square trinomial. I hope you are aware on perfect square trinomial. When you say perfect square trinomial, you got there a perfect square at the first term and a perfect square at the last term, and the middle term is composed of the product of the square root of each of the two terms here, and then we multiply that by 2. So that is the concept here. Now, in completing the square, once we have here the formatting like this, all we have to do is to take this number here beside your x. So we have negative 12, and then we have to divide this one by 2, and then we square that one to get the number here to complete our square. So this will be now negative 12 divided by 2, that's negative 6. Squaring that one, that is equal to 36. So this will be now 36. So since we don't want to change our given, this is supposedly subtracted with 36. So again, this is supposedly subtracted with 36 so that you don't change your given. But since all we wanted to have is the positive 36 here to be completing our perfect square trinomial, that is why we need to move the minus 36 to the other side, to the right side. So since that's minus 36, once it's gonna be moved to the other side, that will become a plus 36. So to simply say it, once you are adding a number here, that is the same number that you will be adding on the right side. So next, let's go to the y squared minus 6y, and to complete the square here. So we are going to get negative 6, and then again we divide that one by 2, then we square that one. So negative 6 divided by 2, that's negative 3. We square that one, that is equal to 9. So we are adding 9 here to complete the square, and also adding 9 here on the right side. Simplifying this one, so we are now ready to take the factor of this perfect square trinomial. So when you factor perfect square trinomial, the factor will be like this. X squared, take the square root of that one, that's x. And then we take the square root of 36, that's 6. Then we follow the sign in the middle term, that's a minus. And then we square that one. Because again, the factor here will be x minus 6 times x minus 6. So we've got that one as x minus 6 raised to the power of 2. Again, you get the square root of the first term. You get the square root of the second term. Follow the sign of the middle term. So that will be our factor. Now notice that this one here, if we try to go back to the format of the standard form of our equation of a circle, we've got that one as x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. That will be equal to r squared. So we wish to come up with this format. So notice we've got x minus 6 raised to the power of 2. So we have now this one here. Then we are going to do the second grouping here by simply factoring y squared minus 6y plus 9 out. And again, this is a perfect square trinomial. So all we have to do is to get the square root of the first term, that's y. Square root of the last term, that's 3. Follow the sign of the second term, that's minus or a negative. And that will be equal to, combine all this up. So we have 4 plus 36. That is equal to 40 plus 9. That's 49. So again, sorry, this should be squared. Sorry, I forgot on that. So we've got x minus 6 squared plus y minus 3 squared. And that's equal to 49. So if we are following really this formatting, then we've got our r here as 7. So the radius is equal to 7. So naming now the center and the radius, because later on you will be naming those center and radius. So the center here, if you try to look at that one, the center will be 6, or with the coordinate which is 6. And then your y there is with 3. So that will be our coordinate of the center. Our radius there is 7. So that is how you convert general form to a standard form of the equation of the circle. So let's go to another example. So you may pause the video and resume that one once you're done with your standard form of the equation of the circle, or the standard equation of the equation of the circle. So let us now group them into similar variables. So we've got x squared. Then we move minus 18x here. And then we've got plus. Then we have y squared. And then we have minus 12y in one group. And then your 81, the plus 81, we move that out to the other side. So this is now equal to negative 81. This is negative 81 because this is plus here from the left side. Once we move that one to the other side, that will be with an opposite sign. So let us now go for completing the square. So x squared minus 18x, we are going to look for this number to complete the perfect square trinomial here. And then we've got y squared minus 12y plus a number, and then that will be equal to negative 81. So let's start with completing the first group here. So we start with negative 18. So you always get the middle term. Negative 18, we divide that always by 2. Then we do the square of that. So negative 18 divided by 2, that's negative 9. Squaring that one, that's equal to 81. So this is now with 81. And of course, we're adding also 81 here. So again, if you've added 81, you add also on the other side the number, which is 81. Next, we go for the second group. So we have negative 12 in the middle term. We divide that by 2. We square that by, we square that one. Then we have negative 12 divided by 2. That's negative 6. Squaring that one, that's equal to 36. So we also add here 36. And also this one here. Then we are going to factor out. So factoring this out, this is now x. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 81, that is 9. Then we follow the middle sign, which is minus. And then we square that one. Plus, again, we get the square root of y squared, that's y. Then we've got the square root of 36, that's 6. And then we follow the sign on the middle term, which is minus. And then we square that one. And that's equal to negative 81 plus 81, that's 0, plus 36, that will be 36. So naming or identifying the center here is with 9, 6. And the radius here is Square root of 36, that will be 6. So let's go to the next one. So this time this is different because we don't have any other x here. So if that will be the case, notice that when we do our standard form of the equation of the circle, this is like this. So once we don't have any other variable, maybe x or y, automatic our h here is a 0. So if we try to plug in a 0 on h, this will be like this. X squared plus quantity y minus k squared equal to r squared. So if you try to look at that one, this is similar to our example here. We don't have any other variable x here. So that is why we are going to take it that our h, which is the x value on the center, is 0. So that is why we are going to do again group according to the variables. So we have x squared plus, then you have y squared minus 14y. And then we've got that one equal to, we move minus 16 to the other side. So this is now plus 16. And then we try to complete our square. So x squared plus y squared minus 14y plus a number to complete the square, and that's equal to 16. Next, we are going to get our middle number, which is negative 14. We divide that one by 2. We square that one. So negative 14 divided by 2, that's negative 7. Squaring that one, that's equal to 49. So we're adding 49 here, also on the right side. So we are now ready to factor out the one inside a group or the one in a grouping. So we've got this one as the square root of y squared, that's y. And then square root of 49, that's 7. Following the sign in the middle, that's minus. And then we're squaring that one. And that's equal to 16 plus 49. That will be equal to 64. So this will be now our standard form of our equation of the circle. So we've got here the center. The center of our circle is 0 and then 7. Now why 0, 7? Because we've got here a 0, as I've discussed over here. We've got our h here as a 0. So our x value on the center is 0. And then we've got 7 on the y value on the center. Then we go to the radius. The radius here is equal to square root of 64. That's equal to 8. So that is now our standard form plus the center coordinate, and so with the radius. So let us now go over to another example. So this time we don't have y. So automatically we know that our y coordinate, y value on the coordinate of the center is a 0. So again, we need to transform this one into like this. We know right away that our k is a 0 because we don't have any variable y here. So same thing, we do the grouping. So x squared plus 12x plus y squared equal to, we move negative 45 to the other side. So that will be positive 45. Then we do complete the square. So we've got x squared plus 12x plus a number plus y squared. That will be equal to 45. So we take the number in the middle, that's 12. We're dividing that one by 2, squaring that one. So 12 divided by 2, that's 6. Squaring that one, that's equal to 36. So we're adding 36 here and also on the right side. So we've got to factor this one out. So this is now x. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 36 is 6. So we've got that one as plus, because in the middle term, we've got a plus. So this is now x plus 6. We're squaring that one plus y squared. That will be equal to 81. Okay, so from here, we can now name our center because this is now the standard form of our equation of the circle. So we can name the coordinate of our center as, notice, if you try to go over with this equation or the standard equation of the circle, you got x minus h. But look at this one. This is a plus. So automatically, we know that this is gonna be negative 6. Because if you try to fill it in on x minus and your h is negative 6, that would create x plus 6. So please know that once you have a plus in here, automatically get the opposite sign, and that will be the value of the coordinate. So if that is a minus, then go ahead and get only the number. So this is now with negative 6, and of course this one is without any attached value, added value, subtracted value. So this is automatically a 0. And our radius here is equal to the square root of 81. That is 9. So that's the end of our discussion for today, and I hope you learned something from me. So again, please practice more with your skills in math, and that would lead to perfection, everyone.